What's up, guys? It's Rob Thompson again. Figured I'd follow back up with you. It's actually the next day after my test, and I failed it. Yeah, I failed it. Basically, the air brakes part, for those of you that don't know, it's pass or fail. The brake test, and I forgot to. I made one mistake. Did the test perfect. Did my pre-trip perfect too. I pulled the trailer and the what do you call it? I pulled the trailer and the I'm having a brain fart. The trailer and the fifth wheel. Idiot. So did it perfect. And then I went to do my brake test. So my brake test went like this. Started the truck, let my air pressure build up, and turned the truck off. And then I started my brake test. And when I started my brake test, I did not push in my brake valves. So basically what that does is it actually charges the system so that there's air in the line. So when you pull out your parking brakes, basically what it does is it purges the system of air. And so like when you go through and you do your brake test, you can't really test your brakes for like air leaks or anything like that because there's no air in the system. So yeah, so I got to the end and I was doing my emergency braking test, and I went to push in the valves, and I was like, I think I was supposed to do that first. Well, I asked to start over, and you're allowed to start over one time. And so I started over, and I did the exact same thing. I guess my nerves got to me. I was super nervous going in. I got there a little early, and the guy was actually not done with his test. The guy in front of me, the guy that I actually, he was from Coke as well. He wasn't done with his test, and I had to wait for about an hour. So yeah, I was sitting there, thinking about it. Didn't really get super nervous until I saw him walk in from actually passing his test. So yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I knew better. I know the test. I know, step by step. I've seen it done a million times. So the way Coke trains you is they on pre-trip is they basically make you watch YouTube videos over and over and over again. There's about 4 or 5 YouTube videos that I use to learn my pre-trip, and they're all slightly different. I feel like any of them could pass, could help you pass. But my favorite, I'll put a link in the description. It's from, I think it's called the Apex Institute. Don't quote me on that, but it's a truck driving school somewhere. Not really sure. I could probably look on the truck that they're doing and tell you where they're from. But this guy does a great job. It's about an hour long. He goes not only through the pre-trip for every section of the truck. He also does the in-cab stuff, including the brake test. And in fact, I'd actually watched that video that morning. And well, you know, it's just unfortunate. So, like I said, I know the test. I know exactly what I did wrong, even when the guy was like, so this is the part of the job I hate. And I pointed at the valves, and he was like, yeah. So hopefully next week we will we'll be retesting. I haven't talked to my boss yet, but I don't see why not. I know what I did wrong. Apparently, from what I understand, I don't have to do the whole test again. I can just pick up where I left off. Basically, I got to come in, do the brake test, then do the backing, and then drive. Could be a blessing in disguise. You know, I could use the extra time to work on my backing, make sure I'm good with that. I actually did a little bit of backing today. I actually was back out on a route, helping my trainer. His name's Nick, super patient guy. Got to be patient. He let me do some backing today. I hit a couple docks, but I did a little alley back out of a parking lot. I had to get turned around, and you know, I thought I did really good. And you know, I can definitely tell you that I'm more confident in the seat of a truck than I have been. You know, I got pretty confident. So I don't know if I said this in the last part of the video, but I started out on an automatic, and the guy who was training me basically just said, "Let's go drive." And he kind of runs a route way out in kind of a rural area, and kind of taught me how to just basically go down the road. So I kind of got used to driving that automatic, and then they found out I was driving an automatic. They're like, well, we need to get you some seat time in a manual. And they switched me over to this guy, and it's been, you know, there's a little bit of a learning curve. We drive at Coca-Cola, we drive 7 speeds, so there's no, you know, switches or, you know, crazy gear patterns or anything like that. It's just pretty straightforward. Reverse is up top, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then 7th. It's pretty straightforward, but it's just slightly different than driving a car. So I learned. He taught me how to double clutch properly, and how to float gears, which I heard they don't want you to do on the test. So I'm probably going to avoid that. The biggest challenge that I had for me was downshifting. Basically, I get a little nervous when I've got, you know, a big truck going down the road. I'm coming up to something I got to stop at, and I'm trying to, you know, find a gear. I have a tendency to push the clutch in and just let it roll. Can't do that, especially for the test. So, you know, that was a little bit of a learning curve. I'm definitely better at it now. I'm way more confident than I was, and you know, I'm you know, as far as functionally, I know I can drive a truck. I know that you know, even like the difficult stuff, backing in the tight docks and stuff like that, I think I can do it. Just to be honest with you, I think I can do it. And you know, I might not be able to do it as fast as the veteran drivers, but the biggest piece of advice that I got is, you know, screw everybody else. Take your time and take as much time as you need, because you'd rather hold somebody up than hit something. And you know, that's something I I'm definitely going to try to live by. You know, if I don't think I can do it, I'm not going to do it. Try to find another way. Or if you know, I'm not sure what's back there, get out and look, especially starting out new. Coca-Cola offers a safety bonus, so it's real important to me to be, you know, accident free for the next 2 years and get my bonus. And basically the way it works out, they charge me to train me, and they payroll deduct it $50 at a time. So what ends up happening is once they payroll deduct it, by the time you're done, you have accrued more money in bonuses than it would cost to train you, or it is costing to train you. So it kind of you know, washes out. You know, it's not a bad deal. You get a Class A combination vehicle, CDL. You get training. They pay good money, so you know, even if it's not the most glorious job in the world, it's definitely a good gig, you know, to get your experience up, to you know, get the training that you need, basically the piece of paper that says you can drive a truck and go get your license. And then you know, hypothetically, you can move on to bigger and better things, and you can find something that you like. You know, I was actually talking to my trainer today, and he said, I asked him, I said, for going from this to like driving over the road, how much of a learning curve is there? And he drove over the road for, I think he said like 7 years or something like that. And you know, he basically said that, you know, depending on where at in the country you are, he said, you know, it's pretty similar. We drive smaller trucks. I think we drive a 36-foot trailer. I don't know. Anyway, he said, you know, obviously the trucks are bigger over the road. He said, they just handle a little bit different, and other than the obvious, he said, really the only difference is you got to read every road sign, make sure you're not coming up on a low bridge, and you know, stuff like that. And I told him, you know, there's probably a lot of you know, knowing where to park and truck stop stuff, and you know, you gotta keep books and stuff like that we don't do for sure. But as far as driving the truck goes, he said it's pretty similar. You know, but hopefully next week will be kind of like a redo for me. I won't have to do the whole thing, so hopefully it'll go pretty quick, and we can start driving, get that pay raise, and get one step closer to get my own route, and get another pay raise, and you know, hopefully I'll be making better money soon. Money's not bad right now. I still make more than I did. A little about me. Before this, I was in law enforcement, and if anybody out there who's ever been in law enforcement, they don't make the greatest money. I'm definitely making, at my training pay, definitely making more money for sure, 100%. So that's something I'm excited about. But yeah, as soon as I know something, I'll let you guys know and keep you updated, and we'll kind of go from there, and hopefully I'll be seeing you soon. See ya.